Hi class, today we're going to use the tool called My Story Hand to talk about elements of a book. Last week we talked about characters. Who's in the story? The characters. This week we're going to talk about the setting. The setting is where it takes place and when it takes place. For example, at a house during the daytime. Today I have a story for you called Lizzy Nonsense. As we read Lizzy Nonsense, let's think about where the story is taking place and when it's taking place. And let's see if we can find any clues or if anything we notice that we wonder about, and then we'll talk about where we think the story is taking place and when, the setting. Lizzy Nonsense. Lizzy Nonsense by Jan Ormerod. When Lizzy's mama and papa were married, the sun shone on fields of yellow wheat that grew right up to the door of the tiny church. But for as long as Lizzy can remember, she and mama and papa and baby have lived in their little house in the bush, and the church and neighbors are far away. Wow, I heard a new word. They lived in the bush and everything was far away. I'm going to put this wow sticker here because I'm thinking, I wonder where this is happening, that things are not close together. I can see my neighbor right out my window. I can get down the street to a store or to the church or to my school, and it doesn't take very long. It's not far away. So let's see what else we learn that can help us, like clues that can help us to understand what the setting is. When Papa takes the sandalwood that he has cut into town, it is 50 miles along sand tracks, and he is away a long time. Okay, wow, here we go again. Papa takes the wood into town, and it takes a long time. He's gone a long, he has a long journey. And then I'm also noticing something different here. Their clothes look different from what I wear today. And I notice instead of putting wood in a truck, they're putting it in a horse-drawn wagon. That's definitely different. I wonder if this story is happening now or long ago. When Lizzy and Mama and Baby are all alone in the little house in the bush, Lizzy is always playing and pretending. She is always dreaming. Lizzy Nonsense, her mama calls it. Every morning, Lizzy and Mama carry water from the creek for the vegetable patch and for Baby's bath. Lizzy blows bubbles to make Baby laugh. You're afloat in a boat on a big wide sea, she sings. You and your nonsense, says her mama. Wow, okay, I have another clue. It says that Mama and Lizzy have to carry water from the creek to take baths and to water the garden. I'm going to put a question mark here because my dad and my sister have a well where there's a hole dug deep into the ground and the water's pulled up out of the well, but they certainly do not have to carry the water in buckets. So that's another clue. I'm wondering if this story is happening somewhere else and if maybe it's happening long ago. When Lizzy picks flowers while Mama tends the garden, I'm a bride, says Lizzy. Look at my beautiful bouquet. What a lot of nonsense, says her mama. Brides carry roses. There's a clue. I know that sometimes I hang things out to dry on a laundry line, but I also know that in different places in the world and long ago, they didn't even have machines to dry clothes and laundry, so you had to hang it outside. There is always work to be done inside the house, too. While Mama scrubs the table, Lizzy says, "This house is as pretty as a picture." "Lizzy," says her Mama, "you are full of nonsense." Sometimes a snake crawls in and goes to sleep under the rug. Lizzy and Baby must sit on the table until Mama has chased it out. "You're the bravest Mama in the world," says Lizzy. "Nonsense," says Mama. That could happen. I had a snake get in the house when I lived in Texas. So that could happen now. But I'm still looking at their clothes and things that look a little bit different. In the evening, Lizzy helps Mama prepare dinner. "Tonight," says Lizzy, "we'll eat peaches and cream and little sweet cakes." "Such nonsense," says her Mama. "We are having turnips as usual." I know I've had turnips with my dinner, but it sounds like that's all they're having to eat is turnips. After dinner, when Baby is asleep, there is usually some mending to be done. Mending means to sew, to repair something. "I am making a party dress with lots of frills and lace and bows," says Lizzy. "What an imagination," says her Mama. I like Lizzy's imagination, especially now. She seems to be doing a lot of things at home with her mom and her little baby brother, and that makes me think of how we're staying at home right now with our family. I wonder if you're using your imagination to find things to do around the house with your family, ways to play. Wow, use your imagination just like Lizzy. But Lizzy's mama likes to imagine too. Every Sunday they put on their best clothes and put Baby in his carriage. Then they walk along the track and back, and Mama pretends they have been to church. Wow, things must be so far away they can't even go visit neighbors or businesses or church. Interesting. And then, hey, the text did not tell me, but when I look at what the illustrator is showing me, I'm seeing some animals that I do not see here in Georgia. I wonder why there are kangaroos right outside their home. This must not be Roswell, Georgia. I wonder where this could be. Lizzy and her mama wished that the dingoes howling outside at night were imaginary. "I'm going to sleep in your bed to keep you safe," says Lizzy. Now the author did not say what a dingo was, but I see the illustrator showed in the picture some sort of wild dog howling on the rock. I know in Georgia we have coyotes. There's coyotes always singing songs up at my dad's house in Georgia. But still wondering where this story could be taking place. What is the setting? Finally, one morning, after many weeks have passed, Lizzy cries, "What do I see? Is that a dust cloud from my papa's team of horses?" "Nonsense," says her mama. "It's your head that is in the clouds." But Is my imagination playing tricks as well? Mama wonders aloud. I can hear harnesses jangling and the dog barking. Make haste, Lizzy, make haste! Aha, more clues. It took Dad a long time, weeks, to go deliver the wood in town. Does not take me weeks to go from my house down into the city of Roswell. Mama picks up Baby and they run helter-skelter down the track toward Papa and the horses. Some of the language I'm hearing also sounds like language. When people say helter-skelter, make haste. Papa lifts Lizzy high into the air and sits her on Bessie's broad back. Then he takes Mama in his arms. You are as pretty as a picture, Beatrice, he says. Pretty as the day we were married. You with your white dress and bouquet of yellow roses. Nonsense, Albert, says Mama. And you, he says to Lizzy, are as brave and pretty as your mother. Nonsense, says Lizzy. And together they walk back to their little house in the bush. Oh, where is the bush? I noticed in this story, as I was reading, looks like there's some trees. More trees in the woods. Mom's hanging the laundry out on the line, and I can see some sort of trees and bushes back there. There we go, some more trees. Not a lot of grass. So I wonder what the bush is. I know around here we have lots of trees and bushes, but lots and lots of beautiful green plants growing along the ground in the woods. I call it the woods, I call it the forest, but I don't call it the bush. So you guys, let's go back and think using our clues. Things are far away. Takes a long time to get from one place to another. They have to carry water from the creek to the home. They have to hang their laundry out. They grow food in gardens. Just looking for that picture. There it is. Kangaroos. And at the very end, they were talking about how they live in the bush. Does anyone have an idea where this story could take place? When this story could take place? What is the setting of this story? Lizzy Nonsense. I know I've heard of kangaroos living in Australia. I know that I read another book once where they said the word bush and dingo, and it had something to do with Australia. So you know what I did? I went ahead and I did research. If you ever have questions and you wonder something, you can do research. So I took a map and I looked. I know we live here in the United States. And then I looked across the map and there's Australia. Wow, that's far away. That's a different place in this world. Then I also looked up some pictures. I wanted to know, what does the bush mean in Australia? And this is what I found. The bush is a wooded area with lots of trees and bushes. So it's kind of like here in the city of Roswell where we have woods and forests. But look, it's quite different. Seems like there's not the same amount of green grasses and plants. Look here as well. Very sandy and dry. And then there's the dingo, a wild dog. So I'm going to conclude that this story happened, it took place in Australia. Lizzy Nonsense is a story about her family living in Australia. And based on all the facts I saw, like the way they talked, the words they used, and the way the illustrator showed me little clues, I'm taking that into consideration, and I'm going to say that the story took place long ago, in the pioneer days. See, even the home is a little different. I live in a cottage home, but this home is, maybe it's made with some sticks for the roof. I can see the logs to make the walls. So yeah, I'm going to say that Lizzy Nonsense has a setting that of taking place in Australia long, long ago. Do you agree? Have fun reading books and thinking. Be a clue detective. See if you can figure out where and when the story takes place. Have a good day.